All right, y'all. I done sat up here and watched that conversation with Evelyn Lozada, her daughter Shanice, and Shanice baby father, the rapper, the game. Right? Is it just me? First of all, there was some. The dynamic between them was kind of weird as fuck. And is it just me, or do it seem like Evelyn was crushing on her daughter's baby father? Like she seemed like she was so geeked to have game on the podcast. Like a giggly teenager she was. It was like, oh my goodness. And it seemed like she liked the idea of him calling her a baddie and shit. Cause y'all know I already think Evelyn kind of shallow anyway when it comes to that. I think she's one of those women who is just so thankful and so glad and so happy that she's light skinned and things of that nature. And she is gorgeous or whatever. But I really do think she is a colorist. I think she's one of the women that think that dark skinned women are ugly and beneath her. I do. I think that. So, her daughter, they light skinned, and Gang was basically, telling them how bad they are and this, that, blah, blah, blah. Which is cool, you know what I'm saying? It's good that he has the utmost respect for them or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, hell, she may be a baddie, but she ain't get treated no different than any other woman who, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he put a ring on it. It's not like he did that. Hell, I didn't even know about their relationship for real, for real. It was like, was they a secret? Were they secretly just fucking or something? And how about the fact that that Shanice did not know that he was a felon? That was crazy to me. That was so just like, how do you not know something like that? How you lay up and have a whole baby with a dude, but you don't know that he's a felon? You know, I mean, I don't know. It just goes to show you that people don't be asking questions when they meet people. I guess sometimes women be don't want to look like you're being nosy, or you don't want to look like you being intrusive. It's not about being nosy or intrusive, but it's about being smart. It's about knowing things about the person you're mixing blood with, you know. And I feel like Evelyn's so shallow that all she care about is the way he look and his status and things of that nature. I mean, I ain't trying to be funny, but it ain't even like Game is like, don't get me wrong, like he was once a bigger deal. He was once a big deal in the music industry at one point, but he ain't really made no hits in years, and I ain't trying to take away from him, but I'm just saying he hasn't. But like I said, I thought the interview, this conversation was kind of weird, the dynamic between them. And then the fact that Shanice is only, 32, Game is like, 46. He's closer to Evelyn's age, and it seemed like Evelyn kind of got a kick out of that too, just that fact, like, oh, because she's 50. And she's like, it just seemed like she was enjoying him a little too much. She was enjoying him a little too much. I ain't gonna lie, it was giving the vibe of, if he ain't been with my daughter, I'll probably get with him. I'm gonna tell you this too. I was thinking this too. I would not be surprised if Evelyn was thinking to herself, I wonder how the sex is. Or I wouldn't be surprised if she actually needs that. Like, oh my gosh, how was it? She just seemed that intrigued by him to me, that she would even, it seemed like she would wonder something like that. And honey, they did a part two. And from what I heard of that, I heard the first half of it or whatever, and that was even worse. Some of the things that he was admitting to, it was just weird. Like, I don't know what the dynamic was between Game and Shanice's relationship, but just based on the interview and the way her voice was quivering and shit when she was talking, you could tell she's still hurt behind the fact that they didn't work out, because obviously that wasn't the ideal situation for her to get with a dude that's older than her like that. I mean, that much older than her, and then only to turn out to be a baby mama. You know what I mean? And not only that, but it seemed like, you know, she was even like very naive about a lot of the stuff. Like, just like on the part two of the conversation, he said, I don't change diapers, because I guess he don't change their son's diaper. Their son is like 2 years old now. That's another thing. How the fuck your son two and your child is 2 years old by him and you didn't know he was a felon? Anyway, so he was like, I don't change diapers, and she was like, I know, and he was like, he's like, you remember I told you that when we first met, even from the beginning, before you even got pregnant, I don't change diapers. He said, did you think that was gonna change? And she was like, yeah, I did. But I think that applies to a lot of the other aspects of that relationship too. Like, I think that maybe she thought they was gonna have something special, or maybe she thought because she's a baddie, you know, women gotta understand, men do not discriminate. Pretty bitch, ugly bitch, fat bitch, skinny bitch, rich bitch, poor bitch, whatever. If a dude gonna treat you how he gonna treat you, that's how he gonna treat you. It don't matter about none of that. Look at Danny Lay. She had to learn that shit about the baby. She thought she was gonna be different because she was a light skinned baddie. But no, ma'am. These men do not discriminate. And Game damn show didn't discriminate. But it seemed like Evelyn's so busy, being smitten by him. She's not even looking at all that. Like, she should have been telling her daughter, like, girl, listen. But I guess she said she didn't know that Shanice was messing with him or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, you could tell that she's clearly hurt behind the fact that they didn't work out. You could just tell, like, just the way she talked. And, he was just like, yeah, he was like, I don't change diapers and everything, So she was like, yeah, I thought that was going to change. Yeah, you thought that was going to change, but it didn't. He still don't change the baby's diapers. Like, so yeah, I thought it was a weird kind of type of interview, whatever. It just seemed like, I don't know, it seemed like Shanice didn't know much about him. It seemed like Evelyn wants to get to know more about him. Even on part two of the conversation, she's like, I want to go to your old, Evelyn's like, I want to go to your old neighborhood. I'm just like, damn, she's so into him. But hey, I don't know. But either way, it just goes to show you a lot of things. Number one, it shows you that when you meet somebody, believe them when they tell you who they are. If a motherfucker tell you he don't change diapers, don't think that's gonna change because you had a baby by him. He already had 3 kids prior to her child by him, and if he told her he didn't change diapers, why would she not believe that? So yeah, again, women got to stop thinking they so special, because I mean, to some men, you're really not special. You're just another chick under, another notch under his belt. And that's another thing. He talked about how they talked about how she said, you actually manifested Blaze. Blaze is their baby together. And she was like, you've actually manifested him, because I guess Game was talking about having a baby, whatever, when he first met her, and just talking about her being just basically him having a baby. And it's like, he was like, well, yeah, when us men, we meet a baddie, that's what we think. Oh, I have a baby by her. And it's like, that's not manifesting. He's just basically telling you, like, when I saw you, and I was thinking about, I wanted to smash, pretty much. And it's like, don't ever get a kick out of a dude wanting you to be their baby mama. That's not cute. It's really not. Like, for real. I remember a guy like that when I was younger and I was dealing with it. He wouldn't have mind me being his baby mama, but girl, please. I'm so glad I didn't get caught up in that shit and become his baby mama. That is not cute. Just because somebody wants you. If it's not your husband, and he not a man that's in love with you and all that type of shit, that shit ain't cute. Somebody you meet talking about, yeah, I wanted this man. I wanted you. I said, yeah, I have a baby with that. She a baddie, man. Anyway. But, we live and we learn, hopefully, they can continue to co-parent in the best way that they claim to do. And hopefully Evelyn's crush calmed the fuck down. Evelyn, that's your daughter's baby father, okay? But I just want to come on here and say that real quick, because I thought that was just weird. It was a very interesting fucking conversation. One that didn't make them look good at all, for real, for real.